Savvy Business, Life Unscripted, with your host, Christina Rivera, where our guests share their wisdom and valuable business tips, empowering our audience to expand their personal potential.
Hi, Brett Newski. Welcome to Savvy Broadcasting Unleash Your Story segment. We're so grateful to have you here today. We're going to be chatting about your new book and tackling mental health with humor. And that's a great way to tackle life, actually, with humor. You just mentioned you're a traveling musician, but before we go to sharing on that topic, what kind of caused you to write your book?
Yeah, I've kind of gone back to drawing and painting as a mode of therapy over the past couple of years. I guess you could say it's like that never replaces like real therapy, but maybe it's just an escape from my own brain, maybe not. But I put together this book called "It's Hard to Be a Person." It's all illustrations and drawings, kind of making fun of my own brain, making fun of my own anxiety, stuff like that. It's fun.
Yeah. And so when you mention mental health for you, how has mental health kind of affected you? Has it been through the element of stress and anxiety pretty much for you?
Yeah, I think that's something that I've just been trying to figure out through many years, if not decades. Like certain feelings, like why do I feel kind of like paranoid that my friend hates me or whatever? Why
Yeah.
do why, like as a little kid, I would like always worry like I was going to get like detention or just I was going to forget an assignment and like flunk out of math class, which I almost did anyway. But just like really not being like your brain as a treadmill and not being able
Mm.
to like slow down or pull the plug out of the wall. So it's been a good adventure to try to figure out how to play some offense against my own brain when it starts to attack me, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, Brett, because I think sometimes our biggest enemy is ourselves and our own brain. Yeah, as you said, it never shuts off. And oftentimes it's this constant negative chatter, not that other people are saying, that you just keep rolling around your head over and over and over again.
Yeah, I think it's why the most cliche song lyric of all time is save me from myself. You know, you've heard that
Yeah,
300 times and people keep writing it. I don't know why, but
yeah, it's
I
true.
guess it's a theme. It's a real theme.
Yeah, it's very true. So drawings really helped you, and I think that's a good way to approach it for if you're an artist. For me, some of the ways I've tried to escape maybe anxiety or pressure from life and stress has been like getting into nature and just getting out there and walking and just getting away from everything because life
Yeah.
you can get on this kind of treadmill thing I call it the hamster wheel, that you're just going and you're like, why am I moving so quick? Maybe I just need to stop.
Yeah, that's true. Easy for you to say living in Houston where it's sunny all the time. I'm like really trying to, because I'm up in Wisconsin. It's like life's pretty easy in the summer, but
Yeah,
when the sun doesn't come out for an entire month and it's like rains all March,
that's hard.
that's a real thing. And I used to
Mm,
think I was like immune to seasonal depression or whatever. Like I
mm.
would be like, I'm from the Midwest. I'm not gonna be soft. I'll power through whatever.
Yeah.
Like they tell you to do in the Midwest. And it's that's a real thing, and it
Yeah.
smashes you like a ton of bricks. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Maybe move to Mexico or just follow the sun. Follow the
Follow
sun.
the sun.
Yeah.
Everybody could be moving to Cali if that be the case. No, but it's true. Even here, it's hot here and it's warmish around the year. But when it starts getting dark early, I get depressed. And there's something about light that gives energy and happiness, at least to me. And when that time of the year comes where we're heading into fall and winter, I just start getting bummed myself. So I think light plays a big part, and weather as well.
Yeah, I think actually Scandinavia has some of the higher rates of depression because their winters, some of those countries barely get any sun. You know, you go up
Mm.
to the north of Norway or Sweden, it's like the sun might come out for 1 hour a day. And
Oh,
I had uh, I'd never experienced that until I went to Iceland over in November for a festival. We played this festival called Iceland Airwaves. It was really cool
nice.
indie music festival in this Keebler little town of Reykjavik, where all the little
Nice.
gingerbread houses become music venues. It's really fun.
Cool.
But yeah, the sun would not come out till 11 a.m. and it would be down by 5, so you had 6 hours of daylight, which yeah, it was like
Mhm.
there's no motivation to wake up in the morning. It was just like I'll
Mm-mm.
just sleep because I love getting up at early. I like getting up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., going to
Mhm.
find a coffee. It's like there's nobody even brewing coffee at 7 a.m. because no one even wants to be awake.
Oh my gosh, I could totally imagine. Now, how has humor been your best friend during difficult times? How have you used it to kind of power through difficult times? And any stories you can share in that arena?
Yeah, I mean, depression is actually pretty hilarious a lot of the times, you know. I mean, I'm gonna maybe get a few hate emails for saying that, and it's like, oh, it's a serious thing, and it is, but
Mhm.
for the most part, if and if you battle with kind of depression and anxiety, or you're an extra sensitive person, you know that when the clouds part and you get out of those like toilet bowl cycles in your brain, you can
Mhm.
have some actual perspective.
Yeah.
And then you look at those depressive episodes or anxious moments and realize you were worrying about, pretty insignificant stuff. And that's not always the case, but oftentimes, especially for me, it's like 98% of the stuff I worry about is a complete joke.
Well, it's funny, Brett. I remember with my friends, I would get together for coffee on the weekends, and we would just joke about the most difficult bosses and challenging times we're going through in my 20s and 30s. And we just make a joke fest out of it because what else can you do other than crawl into the corner into a tight ball and just like whatever you just laugh at it, and I'd find I'd laugh about the most absurd things, but you either laugh or cry. You've heard that one before, right?
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with you. Well said.
Yeah. So now you've also been able to do what you love, which many business owners say they want to do, and maybe start a business with the idea to do what they love, but they end up like kind of owning it or it owning them instead of the other way around. How have you been able to create the life that you enjoy where you get to play music for a living and keep that going? Because not everyone gets to do what they love, or
Yeah,
they
well,
feel like they can.
yeah, I gotcha. I think the mission after my like fourth band broke up, it was always to be like to keep very few moving parts and to keep my possessions really low and my
Mm,
overhead really low. And I'm in my 30s now and I've still
yeah.
managed to do that. To this day, it's just like keeping overhead really low is just so important.
Mm,
And it's easy for me to say, I'm a single person at the moment.
mm,
So I don't have like a family leaning on me and that sort of thing. But it certainly seems it's just a tale as old as time, like people living beyond their means. And
mm,
I think once you reach a level of luxury, when you level up in luxury, it's very hard to go in reverse. And I'm always very careful of that. Like, I never want to get on a tour bus. I never want to have a Sprinter van that's too fancy. I don't want to stay in rat hole hotels on tour, but I definitely want to not stay in like too fancy of places because it's like,
mm,
all of a sudden one year you're not selling as much tickets and you can't sustain that lifestyle or whatever it is. So
mm.
yeah, fewer moving parts, keeping overhead low, and I one of my goals is to never have a boss and never have employees. So I still don't have a boss. I would never consider my bandmates employees because they're like my best friends. But
Yeah.
that's kind of, and then to be honest, like really early on touring and playing 200 shows a year, you want to have a certain amount of blind ambition, or at least I did. I was just like, this is going to work out. I'm going to make this work.
Mhm.
And so there, there's some truth in that. I think as long as you're not taking silly financial risks, if you
Mm.
at a certain point you do have to put your head down and just like plow through that early phase or those early years of a project.
Yeah, you make a good point. You made a couple of great points. I mean, one, if you really want something, it doesn't get created overnight. No one who's created anything great, a business, a career, a vocation, day one woke up, woohoo, I'm at the very top. It took time to get there. And then and I just watched today a minimalist podcaster or blogger on YouTube talk about how his life is so fulfilling and less stressed because he lives so minimalistically. And there's something to be said for that. When you mentioned the fact that you really make sure to keep your overhead minimal and have less stuff and buy, all the not have as much financial, overhead, it really does create less stress. So if you want to have less stress and anxiety, that sounds like one really good way to do it.
Yeah, yeah, and obviously that's, some businesses need multiple employees, and that's cool too. And scaling up is, I think you want to grow, you want to grow. I was going to say you want to grow every year to some extent, but I don't feel personally I need to do that.
Mm.
I want to maintain like a healthy lifestyle. I'd like our band to maintain like a healthy fan base. And as long as we're like creating things, I think, that are like original and good, and we're not making albums that have already been made, and making
Mm.
art off some sort of cheap, weak template.
Yeah.
I think we're doing well. And I don't know. I also want to have like reasonable ambitions for everything. It's like
Yeah.
I don't have any grand, what do they call it? Illusions of grandeur. Like I don't need to sell out massive theaters all over the world to like
Mm.
feel fulfilled as a musician. Like if we can make a living,
Mhm.
that's pretty good, and that's pretty rare. So I think
Mhm.
that's at least my main goal for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and that is really amazing. Most people don't get to do that, and that alone is a huge accomplishment. Now, there will be some people who say, "Hey, there's no way I could see that I could maybe do my vocation, maybe musician or writer or whatever it might be." But I think it's important, if you want to reduce stress and have a great life, that maybe you do the job thing, but then you get to do your passions on the weekend or whatever. It doesn't mean you have to be either or. You can have both sometimes.
Yeah, no, for
Mhm.
sure. I mean, there's absolutely no shame in having a day job or a money job. I mean, if you have something that can make you a decent amount of money in the least amount of time, that's like, for arts especially, that's critical, or for anything. So
Mhm.
you can have that time to pursue your missions. And who knows, maybe your own personal work or goals start to take over more and more each year, and maybe you're doing that full time eventually. But
Yeah.
a lot of my friends who are super talented don't want to do music full time because they don't want to mix art and commerce, and they
Mm.
don't enjoy the business side of music. And I get that too, and that's cool, because you don't want to hate the thing you love.
That's funny. I went to school performing arts, and it was very competitive. And I remember when I graduated, people said, "Oh, don't you want to go do the violin for like a career?" I'm like, "Heck no." Because I'm going to hate it if I keep doing it this way, because if I have to go out there, be competitive, fight with other people to get gigs, I'm not going to enjoy playing anymore, at least for me. So I was like, no, I'm going to go do something else and play for fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. That's
Yeah.
that's totally healthy.
Yeah, totally. Well, I want everyone to get a copy of your book and find out more about it. Let's tell everyone it's hard to be a person. Where can they get a copy, find out more about you,
Yeah,
and get tickets if you're, playing in their area?
sure. We're called Brett Newski, and the No Tomorrow. It's Polish. My last name is Polish, Newski. But yeah, we're touring. We're all over the road in the U.S. this summer, a little bit in Europe as well. This is the book. It's called "It's Hard to Be a Person: Defeating Anxiety, Surviving the World, and Having More Fun." And it's just a bunch of like, uh, making fun of my own brain. So it's like what to do if someone doesn't reply to your email and you're worried they hate you, how to subdue road rage, um,
That's a good one.
what things to do if you don't feel like drinking, what to do if you drink too much caffeine, how to diffuse a political debate. But it's all kind of tongue-in-cheek humor, so it's nothing that's going to get you fired or
In trouble.
make you hate yourself. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, I got to look at the coffee one.
Yeah, yeah,
Huge coffee fan there.
yeah,
Yeah.
me too. You know that like lull in the afternoon where you're like, do I do more coffee or do I just power through? It's a tough moment in the day.
Have you heard of this new product called Mud Water? It's kind of,
Yeah,
yeah, you heard about it?
I have. Have you tried it? Is it good?
I have. I got the evening and the morning version. I like the evening version with the chai chocolate in it. It's quite nice, but I'm still drinking the coffee, but I like it. And I really like it because it has selenium. The mushrooms have a lot of selenium, which is great for
Does it
your.
have caffeine?
It does. No, it doesn't, but I have ashwagandha, which is helping with your
Oh,
energy. Yeah, check it out. I think you'll like it.
okay. Yeah, I will. Thanks for the tip. That's sweet.
You betcha. Well, everyone, please go check out brettnewski.com and get a copy of his book. It's hard to be a person. We're all, had a tough year, 2 years, and I know his book can help us get through it. And thank you so much, Brett, for coming to Savvy Broadcasting tonight.
Thanks, Christina. You're a pro and you're a sweet person, easy to be around. So thanks for the hospitality.
You betcha. Take care.
That you hate me, friends might escape.